Coming in hot from Arizona, this is Trevor
and Troy Howard.
And you're on So Tell Us Time. You can have everything you want in your business. Sometimes you just need a little help.
Every business owner would love to charge more for their services, but sometimes you can sacrifice long-term loyalty for a short-term profit.
Creating the right rituals is key to your business having success.
Are you tired of competing with your competitors? Guess what? You don't have to compete if you create.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of So Tell Us Time. This is the podcast where we help you grow your business, dealing with the everydays, ups and downs, highs and lows, the woes and the happies of the entrepreneurial life. This is a place where you can come and feel safe. You can bounce ideas off of us as we bounce ideas off of you, because we're going to give you all the information that you need. Today is going to be an awesome day, guys. Today we're talking about the lost art of communication. Yes, it's a very important one. Trust me, you're going to want to be listening to this one. Don't shut it off. Don't turn it off. Don't even get out of the car and go to that next job. Sit in the car and listen. Sit in your truck and listen to us, because you need this one. Communication is king, but more and more businesses are failing at communicating with the proper avenues that their customers want to communicate through. So this is not going to be a super long one, but this is definitely going to be one that affects your business. And I can tell you, we just implemented a new one of these strategies, and I'm not going to give it away because I'm sure Troy's going to talk about it. Of course, I don't read the outlines. You know this. I just like to wing it. I'm crazy, but we just implemented one, and man, the results are awesome. So let's jump in, Troy. I won't take it away here. I'm going to let you take it away, and you're going to love it.
All right. So basically what we're going to talk about is there's pretty much 6 major forms of business communication, ways that businesses communicate with their customers.
Right.
So we'll kind of go through that, and then we'll talk a little bit about each one. So I'm going to kind of go from old school to the newer stuff. So, of course, phone would be number one, right? That's how we used to communicate all the time. Then email came around. We started emailing everybody. Then we had web forms on our websites and on landing pages and all these other ways for people to fill out a form and have us get back to them. Then there was this wonderful thing called text message.
Awesome.
Right? Where we can text our customers. And then web chat or chat came along. And, you know, with web chat, there's a couple of different ways that you can do that. You've got web chat like on your website. You've got like Facebook Messenger. There's lots of different ways that you can chat with your customers, but that's becoming very, very popular. And then social media is another one. That's where a lot of people are focusing energy on reaching out to their customer base through social media.
Yeah, and actually there is a distinction there, right? So there's the chat, the messenger like Facebook. That is separate, as you know, if you're using it from just Facebook. And what Troy's talking about here is that people can chat you, right, through the messenger, or they can actually comment on your posts, or they can, communicate with you that way.
Exactly. So each one of these forms of communication has its own benefits and its own downfalls. And we're not going to go through the benefits and downfalls of every single one, but I just want to I want you to start thinking about what's great about this communication and what's not great.
Yeah.
Because when you're planning your customer communication, you need to make sure that you're planning it, like, okay, I need to do this, so I'm going to use this form of communication right now. But when I want to do something else, I'm going to pick a different one because this one has more benefits for that, right? So let's just take like email and social media.
Yeah.
You might be like, wait, you're combining those two together? Yeah, because email and social media can be a great way to get to the masses, right? I can email my entire customer list something new. Or I can go on my Facebook business page and I can make a post and I can post something out there, right? That people can take a look at. And that way I get to everybody all at once.
Yep.
Now, the problem with those, so that's the benefit, but the problem is that people are inundated with emails.
Yes, they are.
Right? And social media. So, they may just be that their inbox is too full and they're not seeing your email. It could be that you got caught in the spam filters.
Totally.
And they're not checking out your emails because of that. Same thing with social media. It might be that, there's too much going on their feed, and they're not going to see you. And we're going to tell you another thing about social media like Facebook. Just because somebody follows your Facebook business page doesn't mean they're going to see everything you post.
No, freaking algorithms.
Yeah, they've got these
annoying.
algorithms that will actually prevent them from seeing everything you post.
Yeah, which is crazy because, I mean, even in groups. So we have, pages and we have groups. Even in our groups, our Sotellus community group and our Sotellus partner group, the algorithm still filters our posts out. So not everybody sees it.
Exactly.
Which really makes me upset. So stupid.
Yeah. So these are tools built to get to the masses all at once, but they have their downfall that they don't always work that way. So think about that next time you're going to do an email or social media. Mm-hmm. Another one that we'll talk about is text messages.
It's a great one.
So the great thing about text messaging is it is instantaneous.
Yeah.
Right? You can get out to them right away. You get right to their phone. We all know that, like 98% of text messages are looked at within the first couple of minutes of them being received. So it is a great way to get to people and get their attention, right?
Yep.
Now, but there's also a lot of regulations around it.
Yeah.
How to do it and how to do it right. And you got to make sure that you are doing it right. So that's kind of one of the downfalls. Another downfall can be that because it is so instantaneous, you might get instantaneous feedback, right? So like, let's say you fire off a text message to all of your customers.
Yep.
You better have set aside a lot of time to then respond to all of those text messages that have come right back in, right?
So I'll tell you about what we just did. We just implemented, and I don't know if you've got it further down, but we just implemented, it's a good time to talk about it.
Yeah.
Text messages, communication. So not text message marketing. This is not marketing. This is communication with your customers, okay? So we just implemented that. It's something that we weren't utilizing before as much, a little bit here and there, but we decided we wanted to let all of our customers know about all the new features because we're doing all of these ways of communicating. Literally, we do them all. And the only one that we weren't doing communicating new features and things like that was through the text messaging.
Yeah, exactly. We were communicating with them on a one-to-one basis.
Correct.
But not going out to everybody to announce things.
Correct. Exactly. And so what I did today is I said, Troy, we're doing it right now, man. So we jumped on, we implemented it, and we took a chunk of our customers. We took like 1,300 customers, and we sent out our first communication with these 1,300. So just a chunk. We wanted to test it, right? We don't want to do everybody at once. And so we took that 1,300, and I connected it up to my number, my business number, where I can text back and forth and do things. And like instantly I had over 100 texts back. I had people communicating with me, and I thought, oh crap, I should have set this up with my support team. But I've been sitting here today and I've been doing, a job that honestly I shouldn't be doing, communicating back and forth, but I do love it. I love communicating with my customers and everything. That's why Troy and I do events. That's why we travel around and we see and meet with customers, is because we do love that interaction. But really, with a lot of this stuff, it was things that my support team could have been helping these clients with.
Well, and I want to give them a real good tip here too. Whenever you are trying something new in your business, you should be the first person to test it.
That is true.
Right? So you need to know what's going to happen, whether it's working, whether it's not working. So it's not a bad thing that we did this. Like it was pretty intentional that we did this because now we know how effective this is going to be with communicating with our, customer base. And going forward, we can make that change and say, okay, now we're going to send this out from the team.
Yes, and that's why we only took
directly.
A piece of the customer base. We only took 1,300 of the total base because we didn't want to just blast it out to everybody. And I'm super glad that we did because it was awesome. I mean, it was, and let me tell you something, it was great stuff. It was, and I'm just going to be clear with you and open because that's what we do here. I mean, we had some people that replied back to stop. They didn't want to get the text messages. That's okay. That didn't offend me or anything. We had people who wanted to update their credit cards, which is awesome, right? Yep. So these were people that we were emailing because maybe their credit card had expired and they hadn't updated the credit card yet. We had people respond back with that. That's phenomenal, right? We're collecting the money and continuing their service, so there's no interruption in service. We had one out of the 1,300 that said, "Hey, I need to cancel my service," and we were like, "Hey, this thing's working really well for you. You've gotten a lot of Google and Facebook reviews lately, and I see you're not using our lead system, so let's get the lead system set up." And so I was able to help with them, but still, that it did spur one person who wanted to cancel, which again I think is a good thing, because then I got to have a conversation with them.
Exactly.
Right. And so anyways, it spurred a whole bunch of other things, In fact, it was funny because we even had some people respond back and like, "Check your database, man. I'm already a customer." And I loved it because I messaged them back and said, "Yeah, of course we know you're a customer, man. I sent you the text message. This is just a new form of communication that we're utilizing. And by the way, the feature we just sent out in that text message, you actually aren't utilizing." And he replied back immediately and was like, "Oh, awesome. Thank you so much." So again, it worked. I think it was uber successful.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about it. So if you're not doing texting, it is definitely, and if you're just doing a one-on-one texting, this is a more like intensive way of doing it, right? It's getting to everybody. You do it once and it goes to everybody. It really is pretty awesome. So
now, and actually I'm going to add on to that, Trevor, because you brought up that example. The feature that Trevor's talking about, right? We sent emails out.
Yeah.
Multiple emails to our customers, letting them know about this awesome new lead generation feature. We posted it on our Facebook page.
Multiple Facebook pages.
We posted it in our Facebook group.
Yep.
Right. And so we communicated in several different ways with our customer base. And what spurred this was we were at an event and we had a bunch of customers come up and we're like, "Oh man, what do you think of that new feature?" And they're like, I don't even know about it.
Yeah.
They hadn't paid attention to the emails. They hadn't paid attention to Facebook.
I was ticked.
Yeah.
I was like fired up. And I actually told Troy, I said, I'm hiring more success coaches. So support guys, I'm hiring more. And their whole job is just to sit and call our customers. And Troy's like, like, is that what you really want to do that? And then I said, well, fine. At the very least, we are implementing texting, man. And if that works, then we won't have to hire more people. And it worked.
Yeah.
So now we don't have to hire additional people just to pick up the phone and call, because I was super frustrated. I'm going, we've emailed, we've posted about it. And guess what? The video I sent out today, I recorded a year ago. So we have had this feature for a year. Several clients didn't know about it. And what was awesome is that was the other thing too, is what made me super happy was people replying back, "Oh my gosh, this is awesome. Thank you so much for letting me know." And I'm like, this is great.
Exactly. And the point of that is that you need to use multiple, communication channels when you're trying to reach your customer base.
That's right.
Don't just send an email to them and then hope that every single person read that email.
Right.
Hit them in different ways so that you make sure that they're getting that messaging from you. And that kind of leads me into also, you do want to communicate with your customers in the way that they like to receive communication. Correct. So if email is their favorite, then, note that in your system, like, hey, they love emails. Or if they like phone calls or text messages, just make a note in your system so that you know what is their favorite way. But again, you always have these other ones as backup so that you can get to them if maybe their email box is just full.
Well, and that's a good point, because I checked what I did is the ones that replied stop. It was like 5 out of like 1,300. I went in and I tagged them in our CRM as opted out of SMS, right? And then I looked and they get our emails.
Yeah.
And so that's great. So they're probably like, "Hey, I already know about this. I'm getting your communication." Like, that's good. So again, communicating with them the way that they want to be communicated with. Exactly. But knowing that is key.
Yes, absolutely. Exactly. Because again, if you don't know how to communicate with your customer the way they prefer it and the way they're actually going to get it, then your communication is wasted.
Yeah. And there was so many today that like replied, "Thank you so much." And they were so excited and everything like that. And I just kind of spot checked. And some of these ones, it's like in my CRM, it'll tell me opened or unopened emails.
Yep.
A lot of them that I spot checked that responded to the texts were unopened emails.
Yeah.
So, I mean, email's just not 100%, right? We already know that. Goes to junk, goes to spam, or they're just inundated. They're bombarded, right?
All right. Anything else you want to add, Trevor, before we hit the homework?
No. Guys, the thing is, you need every single one of these. And here we are, 23 years in the making, and we're just implementing the text messaging side. And now again, that's not across the whole company. We obviously, like, if you use Sotellus, it is texting, right? For, review collection and stuff. But this is the first time we've implemented it on a massive scale for just communicating with our clients. And you know what's so crazy is, by making sure that we get to our clients, we are going to have a better relationship with them. And that's going to create longevity out of our clients and that relationship to continue on and on. So we were even a little nervous. I'll tell you, we were even a little nervous at first because we were like, hey, we don't want to spur a bunch of, cancellations, or, hey, we're not happy, or, hey, it can always be a little nerve wracking. The response we got was phenomenal. And so we're excited about it. But think about it. Are you doing phone? Are you doing email? Are you doing web forms? Are you doing text messaging? Are you doing chats? And are you doing social media communication? And if you're not doing all of them, you need to implement them. And that's what you're going to do this week for the homework. You're going to evaluate which one of these you don't have set up, and you're going to get them set up.
Yes.
On a very simple, it's like all the greats have said it. Do it even if you think no one is paying attention.
Yes.
Do it even if you think no one is paying attention. Because when we started this podcast, like 5 people listened to us. Now we have thousands of people who listen and watch. When I started doing the Instagram thing, we had like nothing, because I just started. Yeah. I said, we're going to do Instagram. And now we're like 30 or 50,000 followers. YouTube, I can't even remember where we're at on that, like 10,000 followers or something like that. Yeah, but we've had hundreds of thousands. Yeah, we've had hundreds of thousands of watches and watch hours. And, when we started, we had nothing.
Yep.
And as we kept doing it, it grew. So you can't grow until you start, right?
Exactly.
All right, everybody. We love you so much. We are just so happy to come and be with you every single Tuesday morning. Make sure that you come back every Tuesday morning and you keep hanging out with us. And please share, like, comment, tell everybody about it. They just have to search Sotellus or Sotellus Time pretty much anywhere, and they will find this podcast. It's also on our website. They can go to Sotellus.com, and I think there's a tab called Grow Your Business. And our podcast is right there. So tell everybody about it. We love you, and we will check you guys on the next episode of Sotellus Time.